The Classy Gourmet, where you will learn secrets from the top chefs in the area.
Hi, and welcome to the Classy Gourmet Show. I'm Colleen Cleek of the Classy Gourmet, and we're gonna have a wonderful show. I want to introduce you to our first guest, and that is Gina Moss. Gina is the registered dietitian at Wild Oats. Welcome, Gina.
Thank you, Colleen. It's great to be here.
Gina always brings with her some wonderful recipes that are good for the body and still taste good for the palate, which is important to me as a cooking school instructor here.
That's right.
All right. Now we're going to start with a wonderful recipe with delicata squash. Why don't we talk about that?
Okay.
We also have acorn, but the delicata is what we're going to use today.
Here in the Midwest, the most popular squash is acorn and the little butternut. This is a little butternut.
Butternut.
And what it is full of is beta carotene, fiber, many good things for your health as far as anti-cancer causing agents. And they taste good. They're slightly sweet. Delicata, a lot of people will come into the store and they'll go, what is that? I don't know how to cook it. We're going to show you a great recipe today.
Easy and fun too.
Okay.
Now, we also have kale, and we want to wash that kale up, and we've put it in the salad spinner. I just want to give that a good hold on to the top, otherwise I always call it, you're going to flight.
I'm going to get one of those. Those look nice.
I love it. It's important that we wash it because it can be sandy. All right, look how much water we got out there. We need to chop and dice this up. Gina, you want to tell them how you got your squash the way that you did there?
You do need to take a pretty big knife, and you need a cutting board, of course. You take the squash and you just start cutting it diagonal, actually on the length, and you'll get seeds. You scoop them out. You'll end up with this, and this is going to be our boat to put in our stuffing, which is going to be kale. Kale is a green that a lot of people don't eat. They go to the restaurant and it's the garnish on the plate, but it's just chock full of nutrients.
Well, it doesn't wilt like some of the others.
That's right.
Now, what we want to do is we want to smash it, but we want to roll it up.
Okay.
And if it were an herb, we'd call this chiffonade, but it's a little bit big for that. We want 1/4 inch slices, so I'm just going to do a little bit of chopping here to get this. We're going to wilt that. You want to get that pan going, Gina?
And remember, this will cook down, so don't worry if it's, at first it's going to be mounded up in your
and you always think
pan.
you need a bigger pan.
So we're going to get that fire adjusted. I wish I had gas at home. And we're going to add our olive oil.
Okay.
Olive oil is a wonderful oil that is high in the monounsaturated fats. And
I think we got enough. What do you think?
Got a little garlic there. Garlic, did you know garlic is an antibacterial? It's also anti-inflammatory.
We need that flame up higher. I don't hear any sizzling.
Oh,
We gotta have it on high.
All right. We just get that going. We want to do this until, we want to saute until the onions and the garlic are just slightly cooked, because we're going to also bake this.
All right. Now we need to do some more chopping and dicing in our mushrooms.
We also have some almonds in here.
We have almonds. Slivered almonds. Let me just tell you something. I like going to the bulk aisle because I had a huge bag when I was prepping for today, and that means I had to sliver them myself. And slivering almonds is a dangerous situation.
It is. However, we do have them in slivered, we have them sliced, we have them whole, we have them raw, unroasted.
We love mushrooms. They're going to give us some. Now, want to tell them about the difference between the portobellas?
Yes.
And
Portobello is a big, fat mushroom. It looks like a giant one. And it's basically a great meat substitute for those people who may want to cut back on their meat. You can put some portobellos in. It gives it a good chewy texture. Then, of course, we have the regular button mushrooms. There's many other types of mushrooms. There's shiitake, there's maitake, there's cremini.
Mushrooms are amazing. And when you go to Wild Oats, you can get them both dry and fresh.
That's right.
Great.
That is right.
I love using dry, especially in the winter when they're not in season. And you can reconstitute them in broth. You can reconstitute them in wine. I like to call it marrying my flavors of my different dishes. So
I think wine's a good idea.
That's smelling divine.
Okay,
Gina,
that's it. Throw the mushrooms in there.
I'll
get it.
You want to help me out?
Sure.
Good.
Okay.
Our mushrooms in. Now, you can flip it. I like to do the chef flip, but I know that makes you nervous, Gina.
Okay.
There you go. Now we're going to wilt that kale.
This looks like the pot's overflowing, and when I first did this, I thought, oh boy, this is going to be bad, but
yeah, but it's not.
It's not.
Wonderful. Just let that steam a little bit. Make sure on medium-high.
Now, if you want to, we're not going to do it now, but if you want to, you can put a lid on there and just let the steam rise up, and it'll cook down faster.
Okay. Any salt and pepper at this point?
I'm
thinking just a little bit of pepper. I like to get that peppery.
You can actually put in the salt because in a recipe where the salt will not absorb into a grain, you'll use it right away. It won't absorb. You won't have to continue to add salt.
We don't like to do that. We don't like to salt and pepper till right before we serve. But in this case, it's going to help get the juices going and help steam and get that great flavors married in there. Now, after you cook this down for just a bit, what we've got when we're done is this this mixture right here. And while Gina works on that, I'm just going to show you how we stuff this little guy. Now, this would be a wonderful appetizer if you did the little tiny minis, or this would be beautiful on the side of a prime rib roast.
Oh boy,
or,
this would be a great alternative when Thanksgiving comes,
or Christmas for a holiday. It's just a beautiful presentation. Now, if you wanted to save just a little bit of kale, you can decorate up the plate, and we'll show you how to do that later. But that's what I envision when it comes time to serve it for everyone. It's delicious.
Now, Colleen, one thing you can do when you're making something like this, if you don't want to use more oil, because even though it's a good oil, fat is fat, you could actually, in this recipe, throw in a little bit of white wine if you wanted to keep it from sticking and create more steam.
Ooh, I'll put the lid right on there. Oh boy, that wine smells really good.
It does add a bit of sweetness to it.
Yum.
Okay.
That's really good. Now, if you want to take just a minute, of course, I've already got a couple done for us. I'll be right back. I'll go get those.
Okay. You don't have to steam this too long, probably about 30 seconds to a minute. You can actually put the lid on a little sooner if you want and just kind of forget about it. Turn your fire down, just stir it occasionally while you get your squash. Look at that.
Now, this one's just a little bit bigger. You know, I would cut that. I'm just going to set it down right here. I'd cut that on the bias.
You actually have 4 servings here.
4 servings, yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Portion size is always important, and a half of one of these is a good portion for anybody.
Now, I know Gina likes to talk about how healthy everything should be, but a little bit of Parmesan cheese, when we toasted this off,
absolutely
add a little bit of complexity and definitely a great flavor.
Yes.
Well, Gina, this is a really great recipe that has combined a lot of wonderful ingredients, fresh ingredients. I just want to let everybody know that they can come see you at Wild Oats, and they need to stay tuned for more Classy Gourmet Show.